Okay, for this DD175 example, we're going to fill out an IFR flight plan from Columbus to the entry point of VR 1031. We're going to file VR 1031 via our entry point at Echo and exiting at Kilo, and then picking up an IFR flight plan to Tallahassee. So to start, we're going to have our IFR flight plan here. True airspeed will be 305, departing from Columbus. Proposed departure time, we'll say 1200, and altitude will be 11,000 out to the entry point. So our expected IFR flight plan will take us to Minimum, LDK, and then Vulcan VUZ 168 at 043 DME. Now this total time en route is going to be about 20 minutes. And we're going to stop our IFR flight plan here because we expect to cancel IFR and pick up our VFR flight plan from the entry point of the low level to our exit point. So we're going to come to our second line. We're going to put in V for VFR flight plan. Our true airspeed, we're going to go ahead and just put 240 because that's about what we're going to be close to the ground. Point of departure, we're going to go ahead and put the Vulcan radial in DME 043. Proposed departure time, so it'll just be 20 minutes from when we took off. In general, you want this time to be your entry time that you've coordinated for. Our altitude, we'll go ahead and put 1,000 for 1,000 AGL, and our route of flight. So we're going to put our entry point as the point of departure, and then we're going to put the low level that we're flying. So for this case, VR 1031, and then our last VFR point that we plan to file is going to be our exit point. LDK 195 at 032, which is point Kilo. And our total estimated time en route on the low level, which is going to be about 35 minutes. And that may vary based on the conditions that you're given that day. Now from the exit point, we're going to pick up an IFR flight plan to Tallahassee. So let's say we're going back to Tallahassee at 180, divide that by 2 is 90, add that to 250, we're going to have 340 on our true airspeed. Again, the point of departure now is going to be the LDK radial DME 195 at 032. Proposed departure time. Now we're just going to add the total estimated time en route on the low level to our departure time from when we entered. So now that's going to be 1255. And then our route of flight. Our route of flight, our first point we're going to file is Montgomery. We're going to get on the jet route 20 to Seminole. And actually, since we're going east, it would be more appropriate if we filed at 190, which would change our true airspeed to be 345. And then back to our flight plan. From Seminole, we're just going to go to Tallahassee. And that's where we're planning a full stop. And that total time en route is about 40 minutes, give or take. Now, we already know how to fill out this portion. So if you have any questions, just review the previous videos or find an instructor and ask them the questions, or as always, consult the GP Chapter 4. For remarks, we're going to add a few things. First, we're going to put our low-level information. So we're planning to fly VR 1031. We're going to put E for entry time, which is 1220. X for exit time, which is going to be 1255. And next, we're going to put where we plan to enter. So for the AP1 Bravo points, we're going to put entry point Echo and exit Kilo. This lets controllers know where we plan to enter the low level and where we plan to exit. Now, if you plan to enter the low level at Alpha or whatever the last point is, you do not need to put the entry or exit point specifically in the remarks. And finally, let's say we're going cross country to Tallahassee. We're going to put KTLH as the identifier. We're going to put services to tell them we need fuel, and R for remain overnight. And that is just a general profile of using a low level itself, specifically a VR route. Now, if I'm on an IR route, let's say IR67, file it normally as you would for a normal IFR flight plan. Let's say we're doing IR67 from Columbus. We know how to fill out this portion. Let's say from Columbus we go to the entry point, point Alpha or point Bravo. You're going to put that radial DME And then you're going to put IR 067 and then the exit point. And then your expected flight plan from the exit point. And this is all going to be on one line since IR67 is an IR route and you're still going to be on IFR clearance.